On a weekly basis, we get questions down in the comments, and I get a reoccurring theme amongst clients that are reaching out for the first time. So today we answer all your questions on this special episode. Let's talk about it. First one that we hear all the time is just that. What do we do first? And the first thing that we should do is hop on a Zoom call. Now, I don't really care if you're 6 months out, 6 weeks out, or 6 years out. It's always better to set up a plan. There's a saying in the military, prior planning prevents piss poor performance, and that's what we want to try to accomplish for you and your family. Setting up that first Zoom call, it's not a sales call. I just want to know what's going on in your world, what you're trying to accomplish, and then give you a set of tools on how to accomplish exactly that. Usually my advice goes, depending on your timeline, is maybe you get a chance to come out and see this place yourself. Have we helped people in the past buy homes and never moved here? Yes, absolutely. But that's not necessarily the best path forward. I'd like for you to come into the area. I get a really good idea of what you're trying to accomplish, the lifestyle that you're looking to do. And then I give you a list of 6 to 12 neighborhoods to go drive. You come visit, you go drive those neighborhoods. And then we set up a search specifically for those neighborhoods based around the timeline that you're looking. It is amazing to me how many people will spend hours and hours and hours. Now, if you feel personally attacked by this, I apologize, but people will spend hours researching pellet grills, but they won't spend a dozen hours researching a $500,000 purchase. Kind of absurd. Next question we get all the time is, hey Dan, what's the best neighborhood? Well, this requires a dialogue. You know, what's the best neighborhood? This is completely subjective. Like, hey, is this a good area? Are the schools good? Well, by what means? Are you looking for a diversity? Are you looking for test scores? Are you looking for student-teacher ratio? What exactly metric are you measuring by? And so best neighborhood for walking distance to the beach is very different than walkability with access to a barbershop and new fresh cut today, by the way. Shout out to Jake's Place. Man, looking good today. Closeness to, say, the barbershop and a grocery store, and being able to walk out your front door and go to the dog park. Those are two totally different neighborhoods. Which points us back to the first one. What do we do first? We hop on the Zoom call, because the only way I can give you personalized advice is if I know the person that's behind the question. Next one we hear all the time is, should I rent first? And again, this comes down to, what is your family situation? Do you need to be in a place within 30 days, or do you have a month-to-month rental that you can set up before you move here? Maybe you come in, you look here, and you get something under contract, you do the home inspection, but if the home inspection doesn't go quite like you had planned, you want the ability to back out and not be pressured into buying that home. So if you have a backup or a contingency plan or a 30-day rental that you have lined up, you're going to be set up for success. Maybe you move here, so let's just say that for whatever reason, this is your forever home. No one really ever lives in a house forever, but what I mean by this is I'm probably going to spend the next 10 to 20, maybe 30 years here. Well, if we're going to spend that much time in a house, let's do our homework again. It's going to be important that we spend time getting into those neighborhoods. I can tell you all day long till I'm blue in the face exactly what my opinion is, but it's exactly that, my opinion, tainted by my history, my time in the military, being a 6'1" white male, being born and raised in the South, being in the military, all of that goes into my opinion. But if you want to know whether a place or an area is specifically perfect for you, the only person that can decide that is you. So should you rent first? Well, maybe. Depends on the purchase, depends on the purchase price, and depends on your urgency. Again, go back to the number one. First thing that we should do is hop on a Zoom call so I can give you personalized advice for your personal situation. Another one really common that we get all the time is, hey, Dan, can we buy virtually? Absolutely. We do this all the time. 98 and 95% of our clients that come in through YouTube are buying from a different area. We help military people who are moving based on orders. We have people, like I have someone that's moving into to work over at Old Dominion for a marketing position there. And we hopped on a call the other day, and they're looking at sometime between 3 and 6 months. Now, one of the things that we determined is on the first call that their first visit needs to be driving neighborhoods. And so we talked about, what does that virtual process look like? And so over the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to be going to properties and showing them, hey, Dan, I want to see 123 Main Street. Awesome. Is there anything in particular that we need to record while we are there? We use a software called Loom, which allows us to record in high definition, which means that you and I don't have to perfectly coordinate our schedules. We don't have to get on FaceTime, rely on a reliable cell signal. I can record it in high definition with all the notes of what specifically you're looking for in that house. By the way, we do this over and over and over again, so we're pretty good at it. That out there is the main road, so you're in almost a full kind of block or 4 or 5 homes in, as you can probably see on Google Maps. Some little things that I've just noticed on the outside, nothing major, but every house, you'll probably hear me say this or have heard me say this before, every house has deferred maintenance. And this allows for you to have this situation where you don't have to align your schedule. You can watch it when it's best for you, and you can rewatch it and rewatch it again. You can do it at double speed. Maybe you do that on YouTube now because I talk really, really fast and you want to hear the information as quickly as possible. In Loom, you also have the ability to leave comments and questions for later. So if you have questions about there, I can go in and answer those. You'll be put into a group text with myself and my brother, and so you have the opportunity to ask questions about the property. And let's say that we get under contract with the home inspection contingency. That means you can fly back out here, make sure you really love the house. But we do have people that do the search process, the looking at the process, the writing the offer, the home inspection, the walkthrough, everything virtual. They don't even see the house until they've closed. They even close virtually, where someone from the closing office sends someone to your house or wherever you're at currently to close on the property. So it can be done. It really just depends on your personal risk tolerance and what you're comfortable with. It really isn't as uncommon as you might imagine. With the people moving cross country all the time more recently, this has become more and more popular. And you can check our Google reviews. We don't have anything less than 5 stars. We take our responsibility and that reputation very seriously. The last one I think we hear very often is, how much should I budget for this process, and is it more expensive to buy remotely? The answer to that is probably going to be yes. You need to spend a little bit more on having a backup plan, maybe a rental setup, or you have moving expenses. You moving in town from one house to the next is just going to be way cheaper than moving from another state or a total different area. Now, you may have negotiated something into that new contract that you just landed because you're now a baller and have a huge housing budget, and we're going to be buying a house that's multi-million dollars on the ocean front. If that's the case, big old thumbs up, well done, and good for me too. But you definitely want to have a little bit more of an extra contingency fund if something were to fall through, and it allows for you to have the freedom chips or the freedom tokens or whatever you want to call it, the extra money, so that you can grab a VRBO or Airbnb or a oceanfront hotel room for a week or two if you need to. One little bonus one here at the end is, hey Dan, can we grab a beer when I'm in town? Absolutely. There's a link below down in the description, and you can grab time there. We out.